Hey guys, welcome back to Recreational Sniper. Tonight I've got a little show and tell for you. Been working on a couple things, and I've got some things coming up. Um, right here in front of me, we've got the Ruger American Ranch 5.56, and I've decided to do a little bit of an upgrade on it, going to a 20 MOA base. EGW. I got from Brownells, I think about 35 bucks or something. And I'm also adding a muzzle brake to it with the purpose of this is got a little weight to it. And so here on the muzzle, what I'm hoping is that on this thinner barrel, even though it's short, which makes it really rigid, adding a little bit of weight to the end of it may actually help the harmonics a little. Adding the muzzle brake to it, adding the 20 MOA base, and then eventually I'm going to do another Arkin 6 to 24, the SH4 Gen 2 scope that I have on the other rifles. So I might get another Arkin for this, and I think that I may try Arkin's one-piece mount with the 20 MOA mount setup on top of the 20 MOA rail on this rifle, because it does have a short barrel. And with that, it'll give me 40 minutes that I can add to the scope adjustment. And so you would take half the scope adjustment range, which is about 110 minutes, so 55 minutes of angle, and add 40 to that. So it would give me 95 minutes of angle for really long range. And I think that in theory, it would be capable of getting this rifle to about 1,500 yards. For getting this rifle out that far, is I'm using the Berger full bore target, and these are 80.5 grain bullets. And these, I've been shooting these out of this rifle not recently, but last year I did some load development work with them, and they shoot really, really well out of this rifle. But the velocity is pretty low, getting about 2,600-ish out of it, with running, I think the powder I'm using is Hodgson's H322. So I'm kind of considering playing around and maybe going to Lever Evolution powder, which I know is not really designed for 5.56, but it's got a little slower burn rate, and maybe I'll be able to squeeze a little extra velocity out of it and try to get it closer to 2,700. But we'll see. I've got some other powder and stuff that I can try as well and try to get it up there, but being a 16-inch barrel, it may just never get to 2,700. 2,700 is where I think I want to try to get these 80.5 grain bullets to, but if I can get them to 2,650, I'll settle for that. That'll be fine. So, and this muzzle brake is probably the most aggressive muzzle brake I've ever seen before. It's just wild. Let's see if I can get that out of there for you. So, it's got a compensator on it. It's compensated. It's got two comp ports on the top, and then 4 really aggressive ports in the back on the sides for really redirecting the gases backwards, away from the muzzle and to the rear. And my goal is that, no, I do not need that aggressive of a muzzle brake on a 5.56. But my goal is to remove as much recoil as possible, because I want to try to get this rifle to shoot as accurate as possible, and then try to get it to shoot further than it should, further than most people would ever take this thing. With that being said, getting away from the 5.56 stuff, I finally got my shell holder, which I thought I bought a shell holder for the 6.5 PRC, and I don't know what happened to it. So I ordered another Lee shell holder, and I'm pretty sure this is the right one for 6.5 PRC. If not, I'll have to do some more research. But and then getting into the 6.5 PRC, these are the bullets that I'm going to be using. Are the Barnes Match Burners 145 grain, the big boys. And I've used these in the past. Had a Ruger American Predator in 6.5 Creedmoor, and I used these in it. And they shot okay in that rifle, but I don't think that I was getting quite enough velocity out of it to really make it shoot good. So maybe in the 6.5 PRC, I'll be able to push these up over 2,900, maybe get them close to 3,000 feet per second. And I've got a couple bullets for comparison here, because these are other 6.5 bullets that I use. So this guy, oop, I knocked him down. This guy in the middle here is a Hornady 140 grain ELD match. This little guy is a Hornady 95 grain VMAX, and that is the Barnes Match Burner 145 grains. This has a G1BC of 703. So the Hornady 140 grain has a G1BC of 0.646. So the Match Burner's got a little bit higher of a BC. It's a little longer of a bullet, a little bit heavier. I've had a couple people tell me that I should try to probably go as heavy as possible. Like try the Berger 156 EOL hunting bullets, or try the Hornady 153 grain A-tip match. The reason why I chose the Barnes is because they're 145 grain, so they're fairly heavy. You know, they're definitely on the upper end for 6.5 bullets. They got a really nice high BC, and the 153 Hornady, the A-tip match, its BC 0.704, and the Barnes is 0.703, being 145 grains. So I think I'd be happier running the Barnes. It's going to drop a little less. I'll be able to get a little more speed out of it, and I think in theory, it will run a little bit better. Some people complain about the Barnes not being as consistent as some of the other match bullets out there, but when you look at the price of them, I think they were under 40 cents a bullet. I want to say like $37 for 100 of them, $38 for 100. And if you go to that Hornady A-tip match, those bullets are up there, around $1 a piece. And then if you go to the Berger, if you can find the Berger 156 EOL hunting bullets, those bullets I believe they're over $1 a piece, and they're really hard to find. You occasionally can find the ammo, but the bullets are really hard to get a hold of. So it's the reason why I went with the Barnes. They were more cost effective, and they had the quality or the properties that I was looking for a long range bullet for the 6.5 PRC. I'm also going to be loading these in the Uintall Precision AR-10 upper, and out of the 6.5 Creedmoor, I'm going to try to run them around 2,800 feet per second, and then the 6.5 PRC, I'm going to try to push them to about 3,000 feet per second. I've got several different kinds of powder I want to test these with, so I bought 2 boxes of those for that purpose. But they're really good looking bullets. Hopefully they perform for me as they haven't, at least as good as they did in the past. They did shoot good. They still all shot under a minute of angle, but they didn't quite shoot bug holes. They were consistently, when I was reloading them in the past for that 6.5 Creedmoor, I could get them consistently right at a minute of angle, and then pretty consistently about 3/4 of a minute of angle, which was okay. Moving on from that, we're going to start talking about the 10 millimeter. Going to a handgun here. What I have here are some 155 grain 10 millimeter XTP bullets. Here lately, I've been buying bulk, just FMJs for the SIG P320X10, and I plan to just buy FMJs in bulk because they're fairly cheap. They're like loaded ammos, like 35, 36, 37 cents a round, something like that. So it's cheap enough that I can just order ammo, the FMJs anyways, and I can get them in brass casings that are reloadable at that price. And then I'm going to reload them with a decent quality hollow point, and then just save my hollow point ammo, order my training ammo, and reload all of my, carry ammo and that sort of thing. And I decided to go with the 155 grain instead of a heavier bullet because I kind of really like the lighter, faster bullets in handgun ammunition. I like heavier bullets in rifle ammo for the purpose of shooting further, more accurately. But in handgun ammunition, I kind of like the light and fast stuff. It's still gonna shoot accurate for a long distance, especially out of 10 millimeter. I should be able to get, probably somewhere in the ballpark of 1,400, 1,500 feet per second out of these in the 10 millimeter. I believe, maybe I'm way overstating that. I may be getting in the 1,300 to 1,400 foot per second range. I'm not really sure. We'll do some experimenting and testing and see how that goes. But yeah, so far that's what I've got going on. Finally gonna start loading some 6.5 PRC, and I do have a bunch of these Hornady 140 grain ELD M's left. Not really sure what I'm gonna do with them. I may load those in my 6.5 Creedmoor as well, and just, I don't know, push them to about 2850 or so, because I realized that in that rifle, I may be pushing it a little faster, a little hotter than it should be. So I'm going to work on loading it down a little bit. Maybe I'll pick up a little more accuracy. So for now, I'm going to leave y'all with that. I'm going to go ahead and install this rail, install the brake on this rifle, and I'll give y'all a little taste of that here at the end. Alright guys, so here we are. Got the rail mounted. It is a little bit longer than the factory rail, but the fit and finish on it's really nice. Got it all torqued down. And then up here towards the muzzle, got the muzzle brake on there, looking like a beast. And got it all tightened down. I don't have a barrel nut like torque wrench, so I just kind of gave it the old good and tight. I don't have a torque wrench set that is in, even intervals. It goes 15. I got the Wheeler Fat Sticks set up, so I've got a 15, a 25, a 35, I think a 45, and then a 65 foot-pound set up on that. So this called for 20, or not foot-pounds, but inch-pounds. This called for 20 inch-pounds, so I went as close as I could to that. I went a little over and did the 25 inch-pounds, which is what I've been using on everything, and it works fine. So yeah, there she is, all set up there, looking pretty good for a little lightweight hunting rifle. And again, I'm gonna do another Arkin SH4 Gen 2 on this, the 6 to 24 power, but right now I'm kind of saving up some money to hopefully get a better camera setup for filming long range, since now I'm really kind of getting into it. maybe a camera that's actually going to be able to see the target at 800, 1,000, maybe 2,000 yards, because we're not going out this weekend, but the next weekend we're going out, and we're going to take the 6.5 PRC and the 6.5 Creedmoor, and we're going to attempt like 1950 yard shot, maybe 2,000 yard shot on our 20-inch by 20-inch targets. I'll put new targets on them, and then we're just going to see if we can do it. We'll sling 50 rounds out there, because we're not going to really be able to tell. Maybe we'll be able to fly the drone up and look at it that way, but then then we'll pack it. But it'll be cool. Surely we'll hit it at least once or twice that far away. Hopefully more than once or twice. Hopefully I get 10, 15, 20 shots on target would be awesome at that distance. But I'm pretty excited about it. And then this little guy, hopefully we're gonna see what it can do and try to really stretch it out there past 1,000 yards. I did the calculation. If I can get those Berger 80.5 grain bullets to 2,700 feet per second out of this, they will be supersonic to over 1,300 yards. Now, they won't have a lot of like kinetic energy at that range. They'll have about somewhere about 150 foot-pounds of energy that far away, maybe 170-ish. But they're not going to have like a whole lot of energy for killing purposes. Like, you're not going to hunt with this that far away. We're just target shooting with it, so the energy factor is not really a big thing for this rifle. But hopefully, adding this muzzle brake, adding a little weight to the end of this thinner barrel will dampen some of the harmonics, or change the node where the harmonic waves cross, and hopefully it brings them towards the end of the barrel. But who knows? Maybe it'll throw the harmonics way off, and I'll have to find something else to do with that muzzle brake. So, we're gonna find out. So, with that being said, we're gonna this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, we're gonna do some pistol shooting. I am gonna re-zero the 6.5 Creedmoor and make sure it's lined out and ready to go for the next weekend. But I'm gonna do some 10mm shooting, some 357 shooting, 38 special, mostly because I loaded a bunch of 38 recently, and then I'm gonna do some 22 pistol shooting. And that's the plan for the weekend. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.